All right. All right, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the afternoon stream. Welcome, welcome. All right. So we had a pretty solid AM session. We had a very solid AM session. So first we had this this long right here. After we tapped in, we took out London low, tapped into this 4-hour Favelli gap, and then we got this right here. We got this manipulation leg, and then we inversed this 1-minute gap right here. What's up, RZ? Yeah, Mamba, what's up? So yeah, so first we had this trade right over here, tap into the 4-hour gap, right? Swept London low, had this accumulation, manipulation, distribution, inversing this 1-minute gap. So we took that up to pretty much opening range high, and then we did get tapped out for break even for the other half of the position. And then on ES, we did take this trade right here. We did, we were pretty bullish, and we saw that ES was leading. So we did get in this position as well, and I held it to about there. And then I did have one micro left, which did just get the break even right there. But most of our position was taken out at these areas right here. So that was pretty solid trade. We were pretty bullish. We were pretty bullish throughout the morning, right? We're still kind of slowly grinding up. Let's look at NQ. What did NQ do? Oh, by the way, 1 second. Let me type this. So at 35 likes, we will do an Apex giveaway. So Apex giveaway. Can't type right now. Giveaway. Why can't I type? At 35 likes. So we will do that at 35 likes. Let me put that like right there. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, so let's go over to the daily real quick. So this is this is a 4-hour gap that we were looking at on NQ. Obviously we filled the gap, right? Are we gonna start rejecting back down? It looks like we did close on the 4-hour. We did close above it, so we did inverse that. So really next stop is buy side. This buy side up here. Looks like we got equal highs right there on the 4-hour. But yeah, next stop's that. We'll probably get some type of pullback maybe, but let's see what we get. Let's see what we get here. Let's drop down to the 15, see what's going on. I want you to check ICT's Venom model and post a video because your videos are neat and clean. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't looked that much into that new model, that Venom model that he's traded. I haven't looked that much into it, but yeah, I'll take a look. I'll check it out. But yeah, so far in the 50-minute, we're still just slowly grinding up. This day. Let's go to the hourly. Do we have anything over here on the hourly that we can maybe look to play off of? Looks like we were hitting that area. Hourly gap. Do we have any hourly gaps? No, not really. We're already up here, so okay. Yeah, we got that level right there. That is, how many points away is that from us right now? It's about 85 points. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. We can definitely get there by the end of the session. Check the 5. Yeah, just this entire day, just expansion. Little pullbacks, expansion, little pullbacks, right? So we'll see what we get here. It looks like we did try to push on this candle. We did reject. So yeah, just gonna wait for something. You have a minor, just a very, very tiny 1 minute gap right here. That's really the only gap that we have right now. Price has just kind of been grinding up. So we will draw that, just kind of see what happens, right? Might want to fill this wick up here. But yeah, pretty solid day. Very solid day. And then also, if you are using my orb fair value gap indicator, which is free, if you're using that, you took the long this morning, which is down here. Let me just like hide this. Look at that. Right here, gave it on this candle closure, ran up to orb high. If anyone took that, you guys crushed it. So that indicator is free. If you want that, it's in the Discord. But yeah, pretty solid morning. You know, let's see what the afternoon gives us. You know, I will probably just continue higher towards this buy side. I would like some type of pullback for us to get in, but yeah. So at 35 likes, we will do an Apex giveaway. Any account size. Let's check the 5 minute. Let's check the 15 and go all over here. See if we have anything that we can look at. Let's see. Where are we? Right here. So really just like this. You know, this right here. Yeah, that's a swing high right there. Pull back. You can see it took out that level, slammed down. So, okay, cool. Which that's exactly what we wicked to. Okay. So that's what we rejected. We wicked to it and we rejected it. So definitely keep that in mind. Definitely keep that in mind right there. Nice little entry would have been up right here on this little inversion, little 5 minute inversion. But yeah, let's see if we can get this. See if we can get this buy side up here today. See if we can find an entry up there. Can you explain that more? Explain what? You said we wicked off of it. Keep that in mind. Oh yeah. So this right here. You know, if we go to the 15 or hour, you can see on the 15. If we look left, right, all the way left, right, all over here. Look at this. Look at this major point right here. Look at this. Right at that level, we just slammed down so hard, right? So that's obviously a level to kind of keep in mind. And when we go over here, that same level. Oops. That same level over here, you can see we slammed down off it, right? Well, we didn't slam, but we're holding it. So that's why we wicked up there and then rejected. But yeah, so far just you know, just kind of waiting for something. I'm still bullish, just trying to find an entry. You know, we had a very solid morning, here. So we did take long here, and then we had a long over here in ES. So yeah, a very solid morning. Just gonna go light here in the afternoon if we take anything. You know, obviously we got to get a setup first. So pretty much, you know, just some type of pullback, maybe into like a fair value gap or like some type of inversion, something like that. You know, we'll see. See what we get. Buy side is the draw here. This up here, we did inverse that 4 hour gap. All right, maybe we can like take out this low. I mean, like, I don't know if we're probably not going to pull back that low, but like that's so we do slam down below this. We get something like this. We could look to go long there, or you know, we could look for you know, maybe let's say we form like a 5 minute gap, right? If we form like a 5 minute gap somewhere in here, right? Could look for that pullback, look to continue in there to that buy side. So that's, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I always like to have a plan. So how did everyone do this this morning? Were you guys green? Were you guys red during AM? Pushing up to that level again. Jocelyn was green. Very nice. Very nice. Pushing through. Pushing through that level. Yeah, I mean, like this thing, like I could see this getting here. I could definitely see this thing getting here. You know, it's been a very, very nice trend day. About 550K Apex accounts and cleared eval today. Congratulations, congratulations. Green for RZ, awesome, awesome. Yeah, by the way, guys, Apex is back. Apex is back to 80% off. So you can use code GC Trading for the 80% off. CZ. long time, CZ. How's it going? All right, yeah, so we are, we're pushing through this level. Like I said, buy side is up here. All right, buy side is up there. Guys, imagine if we would have held this thing. To a 200-point trade. 200 point. That would have been nuts. We did take this thing right here, and I did have some left, like just like a tad bit left to try to run it to the CE on ES, but obviously that piece got break even right there. But we did take out most of our position. We did take out most of our position right around here. On this high, then over here on this high. So let's look at ES here. Look at ES. I'm still afraid of holding trades more than 20 minutes. Yeah, I mean, like I've always said it. Trade management. Like once you're in the trade, it's so much harder. Like the actual trade management part is so much harder than the entry part. Because like that's when your emotions like really start kicking in, is when you're in the trade, and there's so many different little variables that you can do to like change the trade, change the outcome of the trade. CZ, I trade New York Open, so 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and then I do New York PM, so around 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, guys, we are pushing here. ES is pushing, so ES is looking for this gap fill. ES is looking for the gap fill. NQ is looking for buy side up here. So, we've been very bullish. We've been very bullish this whole week, pretty much, and our bias has been on point. Today was a sized up day. It was a full size day. We did trade the fundeds and the live this morning, so pretty solid there. Yeah, I mean, like overall, it was a pretty easy day. Like it was a pretty easy day. Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow's like that as well. Just a very nice trend day. I used to not really be good at just trend days, or probably just trends one direction, but I'm starting to get a little bit better at it. So I'm kind of glad for that. RZ, it really depends. It depends on the news. Like if it's something like FOMC, leading up to FOMC most days, not every day, but most days, price kind of just, there's not really much delivery. So on days like that, like I kind of will wait till after. But you know, like if I see an A plus setup and I see price moving, like I'll take it. And I don't really like to get into trades like right when I see, like for example, like I don't want to get into a trade right when there's news, you know. So, you know, it just depends. We have 2.5 minutes on this 5-minute candle. We do have a 5-minute gap. Do have a 5-minute gap right here. So I will go ahead and draw this. This is MNQ. And then we might, you know, depending on what happens with this, we might have a 5-minute gap right here. Might have a 15, it's got 12 minutes. It's got a while, but we might have one there too. 1-minute gap right here. Here's the hourly. Look at this. I mean, we're pretty much back, like, you know what, like 1 month. We ran up like 40%. 35, yeah, like 35%. How's TQQQ doing? Very curious. Yeah, okay, it's pretty much almost back too. Yeah, that's awesome. If you guys don't know what TQQQ is, it's a triple leveraged ETF for the Nasdaq. So like let's say QQQ moves 1%, TQQQ will move 3% on average. Like it's not exact, but it's pretty close. So if you ever do want to go a little bit heavier in the, you know, on Nasdaq for your like investments or whatever, you can look at TQQQ. You can research it. It's pretty interesting. You have a 1 minute right here, 1 minute gap. We do have a gap right here, which we did inverse. That gap. So let's see what happens. See what happens here. You have 36 seconds until that. Let's look at this. Can you spell out the symbol? Here, I'll type it out. There it is. Not financial advice, but yeah, like research it. It's a triple leveraged Nasdaq ETF. So, you know, like that's, you know, if we were to go back to it for a second, you know, here, let's go back to it real quick. So like if you were to, you know, buy at the bottom here, you know, let's say you were to buy at the bottom of this move, right? I mean, that's 130% in a month without using options, without leverage. You know, it's well, I mean, I guess it's, you know, it's the ETF itself is leveraged. So yeah, but yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Let's check the 5. Let's see if we form that 5 minute gap. Barely. I wouldn't really count that. Can we trade the symbol? No, it's not futures. It's an ETF. But like, you know, I mean, it's Nasdaq. You know, it's the same. Like you can just trade the NQ. That's even more leveraged. So. All right, so what are we doing here? Right, we do have a little tiny 1 minute gap right here. We have a tiny 1 minute gap. So at, you know, at 35 likes, we will do a giveaway. We will do an Apex giveaway if we can hit that. So this we did rebalance into this 1 minute gap, this 1 minute fair value gap, but I would like a little bit something more, you know, a little bit something, you know, something a little bit bigger than that. Yeah. You know, like I bet someone used this indicator and took this signal down here. on the 1 minute. I bet someone took this right here. Someone had to have that inversion. Look at that. Do have another gap right there. Let's check the 5. Check the 5. Yeah, just a very tiny 5 minute gap. Do have a bigger gap down here. You know, I would need a pullback. I would need some type of pullback for, you know, to get back in. I would need some type of pullback for sure. You know, like if we pulled back into this 5 minute gap, then I could look for the inversion. That would be a solid area to put on risk. Like this one right here, you know, this trade, took out London low, tapped into the 4 hour for value gap. Strong buy sequence on the 1 minute. Strong buy sequence. Inverse this gap, and that was the trade, right? So that was solid right there. And here's this one. This one's a little bit more aggressive with that trend. We just tapped in that 5 minute, and we just started pushing up higher. So a little bit more aggressive on that one, but. ES is coming back through. Yeah, okay. I mean, like if someone were like super aggressive, they could just they could get long off that and kind of anticipating that expansion. But I don't want to do that. I would want to be a little bit more patient. I want to be a little bit more patient. Like if it goes without me, it goes without me. It's fine. So we took out that high right there, did ES. ES did not, so we do have some divergence right there. We have some bearish SMT. So NQ is leading right now. NQ is leading. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that. All right, so we do want to see some bullish SMT, you know, some bullish divergence if we want to get in here. Obviously, right now we're showing bearish. So a pullback might be coming. You know, it's not for sure, obviously. Like ES could easily break this high, but we'll see. We'll see here. I would like a pullback. I would like us to pull back to this 5 minute gap right here. That would be a nice place to get long. Then if we inverse that gap, that'll be a little interesting. So, but yeah, just kind of waiting for this 5 minute gap down here on NQ. Yeah, no gap on ES. So right now NQ does look better. NQ does look better right now. Let's see if we can get that pullback. Oh, what's everyone looking for in the chat? You guys looking to continue higher? You guys looking to take a reversal trade? ES about to break this low right here. Tapping this 1 minute. Did we make equal lows? Yeah, we did. Yeah, so ES just made equal lows. Obviously, NQ is obviously leading, so it's higher, right? There is a little inversion. Well, there's a little gap right here. A little gap. Tamara says she's going to follow the trend with caution. Very smart, very smart. Very smart. I'm going to wait for some type of sweep here and then try to get long. You know, so like on ES, you know, I was long on this move, which was a great move. But you know, let's say like after we took out this low, we got this strong buy sequence up. If someone took this inversion right here, or like even this one, that would have been pretty solid. Like that would have been very, very solid too. So yeah, right now tapping into this, you know, taking out this low right here, taking out this low on ES, tapping into this 1 minute gap. Let's see what happens here. See what happens. We do have a little. So we do have a gap. Yeah, just a few little gaps right there. We do have that 1 minute gap right there. So now we have some bullish SMT. Go to the 15 right here. We'll go to 1 actually. Just mark this out, just so we know where it is. Okay. Yes, pulling down to that 1 minute. Yeah. We do have a gap right here. Let's check a 2 minute. Yeah, so like you can use 2 minute gap right there on ES. Let's see, is ES gonna take something out here, or we're gonna inverse this 1 minute? It's really a 2 minute, but looks like ES is kind of pushing a little bit more now after we took out that low. Okay. So like this would be kind of like a more higher R trade. You know, so just like kind of like lightly size, just try to get that higher R. Yeah, so which one do you take though, right? I would need both to inverse. Need both to inverse here. Let's see. So obviously no confirmation there. We have not inversed anything yet. Let's check NQ. NQ has, yeah, not inversed either. So, okay. Well, which one do you guys like more? You guys like NQ or you guys like ES more? Which one do you guys like? I like NQ because it's leading. It's a 15-minute gap, then use the inverse. Let's see. Oh, this little guy? Yeah, it's a small gap. Small gap. I see that. I see that. So it's right there, which technically, well, the 15, right? This thing closes in 11 minutes. So that's it right there. Yeah, small little gap. So that's kind of where we're getting held up by. You know, do we want to drive lower first? Like, do we want to come down into this 5-minute gap? Or is this enough of a pullback, right? Just how aggressive do you want to be? I would like to wait for a sweep of this. Like, I know he swept on ES, but I feel like it'd be safer if we drop down to this 5-minute gap. Because this thing could just slowly just grind up off that, like easily it could. But kind of like the safer option would be to wait for this, wait for lower. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not in right now, you know, like I just have this marked up just in case if I do get in, but yeah, I think I want to wait for lower. $15-minute gap. Yeah, so okay, cool. Yeah, so we have a 15-minute gap right here. $15 minutes. So we do have that. You know, we could look for that. I would like that. ES, we have a 15-minute, very small 15-minute gap, but it's there. So we are showing some. You know, you can see ES is already tapping. It's already pushing lower than that low. Okay, so NQ is too, but we're still not below this right here. You know, like I want to see NQ. Boom, do something like that. That's what would get me in. Would, you know, something from like over here. That would, you know, that's kind of like the play. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So like it's either like we get that or we don't take a trade for, you know, for my system. See if we can tap into it. You can see ES is already tapping into it pretty good. ES is leading to the downside. NQ, okay, so NQ is taking out that low now. NQ's, okay, NQ's going. I bet ES is, yeah, ES is about to inverse that 15 minute. We got what? We got about 7 minutes or so until the next, yeah, 7 minutes till the 15 minute closes. So curious where this will close. Curious whether this will close. So let's look at NQ again. I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna delete that. We don't need that either. Clean it up. There's the 5 minute. There's ES right there. Just holding the bottom of that gap, barely. Now we got 5.5 minutes left on that. 5.5 minutes left. If we do inverse in the 15 minute, that would be kind of, you know, be a little interesting. But we do have this one right here, the NQ gap. So that one, like, you know, that could just be like some S&T. I would like to get in on NQ. NQ would be the one that I would take as of right now. Is anyone in a trade right now? Is anyone in long? Anyone in short? We have a 1 minute gap right here. I'm not going to draw it, but it is right here. So we're kind of sitting in right now. Got 4 minutes and like 45 seconds until the 15-minute candle closes. So we'll check this out. You know, we do have this little block right here. We are tapping, so So, you know, ideally we tap down into this right here. Boom, right? That's it. Easy, right? That would be the trade if we were to get it. So, yep. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and join the Discord. It's completely free. That's where I stream in the morning. Links in the description of this video. See if we can kind of accelerate down into that area. I'll delete this, just clean it up a little bit. Let's see, do we have a 5 minute? We might have a 5 minute gap in about 2 minutes, so that would be, that would be nice. Probably, yes, we do have a 2 minute gap right there. We could work off of that if we needed to. But like I said, I would like to take the NQ play. At least as of right now, which 2 minute gap is right there. I would want us to tap down into this area, into the 5 minute. That would be ideal. That would kind of give us a higher risk to reward as well. So yeah. 2 minute right there. I'll just draw it as a 1, but we know it's a 2. See if we can get something here. See if we can pull back a little bit more. That's what I want to see. I want to see us push a little bit more, a little bit lower here, a little bit lower. Ideally to this 15-minute CE right here. Okay, so we might, okay, interesting, very interesting. Very interesting. Keep an eye on this one too. You know, NQ is obviously still leading. You know, I want us to tap into that. Oh wait, let me see for the 15 minute. Okay, so the 15-minute close inside the gap on that. You know, NQ barely even tapped into it. You know, I want lower. You know, I want lower here. That would be safer. But I don't know if we're gonna get lower. You know, this might be it. So like if, you know, we were to take this, we would be sized like this. You know, and then if, you know, this one, you know, would be lightly sized because we would really kind of want to get in like down here if we were to be given that play again, right? Yeah, we do have this right here. We haven't really kind of broken that yet. Let me look at NQ or ES. ES is back in the gap as well. Same thing, just kind of holding this, right? I want lower. I would like lower. I think it'd be safer just to wait for the lower play for this one, even if we don't get it. So we did gap fill that 2 minute gap. We rejected. Let's go to the 2 minutes. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, I don't know, like, you know, like this, if you do break up kind of above this, you know, this could work. this could work, but you know, there's always that chance that it could do that, and that would be the better play. So it just depends. Like, do you want to try to go for this one if we were to get it, right? Or do you want to just wait for the A plus, right? The A plus plus. So it just, yeah, it depends on how aggressive you want to be. I'm already pretty green on the session from this morning, so I would wait. I'm gonna wait only if we get this one, then I'll get in. Like, I don't need a trade, you know. So that's what I'm gonna do. You can see, yeah, I mean, ES is pushing lower here. ES is a lot lower. Yeah. I do have to hop off in about 12 minutes, so we'll see if we get something by then. Yeah, I bet ES is dropping. Yeah, ES is dropping hard. Come on, tap the CE, tap into this area. I like that. I like that. This would be a change in state of delivery right here. This would be a change in state on the 5 for ES. How about NQ? No, not even close on ES. Or sorry, not even close on NQ. Okay. So you know that is your bullish SMT. So you know we'll see what we get here. This is the 1 minute. If we can close with this gap right here, that would be great. You would be getting in before the change in state. So it's like you know, like you can look for that, or you can look for this one right here. We have, this is a 2 minute gap, and that's the 1 minute gap. So yeah, so I mean, let's see. For the 1 minute, for 2 minute, no. So, you know, this would be a little bit more aggressive if you were to just take this one, you know, and then this one would be a little bit more, you know, a little bit safer. And that's, you know, like we might not even get confirmation, you know, like we might just continue selling down, which would just invalidate our play. So, you know, either we get that push or there's no trade. Here's the ES gap. I'll draw it just so we have it. Is anyone in long here? Is anyone in long? Anyone in short? Let's see. Let's see. Are we gonna get the push, guys? Are we gonna get it? Right. If so, which one do you take? Do you take the earlier 1 minute inversion, or do you take this 2 minute inversion, which will also give you the change in state of delivery? Right. Which one? Which one? Hopefully it just inverses like both of them in one candle, so then we don't have to choose. Right? Let's see if we can get the push. See if we can get the push that we need. Let's see, guys. Okay. Yeah. So see if we can inverse these gaps, push higher. You know, we do have that area right there, and buy side's up there. Then obviously on ES, you know, we have the we got the gap fill, right? So it's a daily gap fill. Just doesn't want to go now, right? Doesn't want to get up there now. We just gotta wait for that confirmation. Prices, it's kind of slowing down a little bit. You know, we would like it to accelerate. You know, as you can see, we've kind of been having like, I mean, the whole day, right? Like even like our trades like down here, you know, pull back, expand, right? Pull back, expand. And that's what we've kind of been doing the whole day. Just pull back, expand, right? So right now we're pulling back. You know, we're trying to catch that expansion, right? If it wants to continue higher. Expansion, pull back, right? We're trying to get that. So most of the time I like to try to go kind of with the overall trend. You know, like even like this play down here on ES or on NQ this morning. Like, you know, like what did we do overnight? Like even last night, like look at our play from last night, right? We had this, right? We had this push up, and then, you know, we just trended the whole day. Took out all like a bunch of liquidity, tapped in the 4-hour 1 minute inversion, right? So, you know, right here we're just kind of see, you know, we're gonna see if we can get that push higher again. We would take it on NQ since NQ is a little bit more bullish than ES right now. So, but so far not, you know, looks like we're not getting that buy sequence that we need to get in the trade, to put risk on. That's fine. You know, I don't want to get into a trade if there's no movement. Remember, guys, at 35 likes, we will do an Apex giveaway for any. It's any account size. It's pretty cool. Any account size, you can choose a 25K, 300K, 100K, 150K, whatever size. So, yeah. You need to win one of those top step ones. Let's see. Are we gonna get a push here? We're gonna get a push. Let's check the 15 minute. We will have a new 15 minute in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, guys. So we'll see if we do inverse this 15 minute gap, right? Okay, then we could probably look for a little bit lower maybe. As long as we're staying up above this, as long as we stay inside this 15 minute gap and we hold it, then I'll be bullish. So I base a lot of my trading around fair value gaps. It really kind of gives me an idea of who's in control. So just keep it simple. All right, so we are pushing up here into these gaps. We are pushing up here into these gaps. Let's see if we can get something here. See if we can get something. We are already very green on the day across all of our accounts. So if we do take this, I won't stack. It'll just be just one account. I don't want to put on more risk when you already have a green day. So, but yeah, let's see if we can get this here. See if we can get this play. This would be nice to push higher. The 15-minute candle closes in 26 seconds. New hourly candle too as well. I don't know, like on the new hour, it might just just snap down for a second. That's what I wanted. I would be even more confident if we did that. If we just took this out and then snap back up in the new hour, I would be more confident then. So there's a new hourly right there. There's that new hourly. I want to see a little bit of just a snap down and then that continuation higher. Because most candles have wicks, right? Most candles have wicks. So let's say if this thing just does not have a wick on the bottom, that would be a little bit suspicious, right? Most of the time this thing will have a little something at least. So I would want this thing to just slam down for a second, just for a second, take out that low. That would give me more confidence. Because yeah, this hourly, obviously we don't need a wick on the bottom, right? Sometimes you just don't have one, but we'll see. This thing could just be it is power hour now, so it is power hour, so we could just push up, See, we're still holding this, right? I want us to break this 2 minute with some acceleration and then try to get that push up. If we're just holding this, I don't want to take it. But what are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? You guys getting long here? You guys sitting on your hands? What are you doing? Oh, you're about to start trading live again? Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. So we did inverse this 1 minute gap right here, but you know, your change in state of delivery is right here. It is right there, and also that 2 minute, you know. So like, I want us to just break up above that, just a little bit more confirmation. You know, something like that. It's not, you know, it's not really doing much right now. It's not really doing much. Like, if we get into a trade and then we're just stuck in it for like an hour, you know, until close. You know, this is power hour, so maybe, you know, we might want to just, I don't know, you know, maybe people just start, you know, exiting their positions because we had a crazy run. Start taking profits. We might get some type of major pullback, right? I don't know. You know, like, we're not. It's not like we need a trade today. We are very green. We were very green on the day, so I'm probably just gonna call it there. You know, like, I don't want to force anything right now. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching. You know, this delivery, you know, even though we did not take a trade today, this delivery during the session was so much better than the Asia session that we had last night. So I really like these New York PM streams. So, you know, as you know, I'm going to continue the New York AM stream as always. That's not changing. That's my main session is New York AM. So I'm going to continue that in the Discord, and then I'm switching out the Asia stream for this New York afternoon stream on YouTube. So, you know, it was fun, even though we didn't take a trade. We had a very green day today during New York AM. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and please hit that like button. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.